Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
I am joined right now with Tyler Hunley. Sir, thank you very much for joining me. You're taking on Kodey Gulley at the end of April, and on the Valor Fights card, Fight for Autism. Sir, you're doing pretty well at the moment with your little pro career. Fights are going well. Let's put it into perspective. You got another guy who I feel as well in Kodey, who's another prospect. He's got a solid record as well. It actually makes for a really good matchup. When this came to you, was it something that excited yourself?
It did. I was very excited for this fight for multiple reasons. One, we've actually fought each other as amateurs, and he was my first amateur loss. So I will hopefully be able to redeem myself for that. And two, he's beat some people. As you can see, his record is 5-1. So he's beat some tough opponents.
Yeah,
but he's not some slouch.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what I said by it's almost like you got two good prospects coming up and then meeting. You know, they're clashing up with each other, and there you go. There's even more story to it. The fact that he was your first amateur loss. Now, the thing is, there's nothing to take from that bout then as there is now, because you're completely, your amateur bouts back then, that was your learning curve. The idea was to go into there and learn. Of course, winning mattered, but at the same time, a win and a loss was more about what you learned from each fight.
Yes, like when I did lose, I did not. It was my first loss, so I was kind of sad, but I didn't take it to heart because I know that my amateur record really doesn't count once I turn pro. Once you turn pro, you just kind of start off with a clean slate. And so, pretty much, all amateur fights are pretty much just getting ready to turn pro. That's how I feel about it.
It is. I feel the same when I talk to people as well. As young lads that we've got at the gym, I spoke to them as well, explained that, look, go into your amateur fights, mostly have fun, learn, try things out, learn about yourself as a fighter, what suits you, what doesn't suit you. If it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It's just something you can know to leave out of your arsenal and then look to maybe put something in its place.
Yes. Like you said, it's like you kind of, at your amateur career, you just need to figure out what type of fighter you are.
Yeah.
So that way you can work on it. It's like some people, that's what they figure out. It's like they can throw spinning hook death kicks, and some people can't. And the amateur career is pretty much where you learn that. It's like, can I do this in the actual fight? No, I can't. I'm not going to do this anymore. And if it does work for them, they can practice on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like we said, you're taking on Kodey. So, in your build-up then to your fight with Kodey, do you look into what he's like now as a fighter? Do you look into? Do your coaches look at what his style is? How much has changed from back in the amateur days, or is it a case of you're just getting yourself ready in the best manner you feel as possible?
I'm trying to get myself better. I guess that's more the priorities. I'm just trying to get myself better at this point because it's like he is like the fights I have seen of his at his pro fight. He is on just a completely different level than what he used to be. His last fight, he showed his boxing skills, and they are so much better. He had good head movement. He had these continuous combinations, and his boxing got a lot better. He's always been a awesome wrestler.
Does that excite you? Does that excite you then when you see that, when you know that he himself, his skill set has improved? Does that for you then kind of give you that adrenaline rush that you know that you're going to push yourself a little bit more when you're training. You're going to focus a lot more. You know, you've got a guy who is, you know, very dangerous.
Yes. I mean, I look forward more to that than I would fighting somebody that had a record of like 2-10.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everybody does have a puncher's chance. That is one thing about the sport that I really love, is everybody has a puncher's chance.
Mm-hmm.
That nothing is for certain in this sport. But, you know, if somebody has a good record, they have more of a puncher's chance than the other guy. I mean, I would like to fight better people, so that way I don't get, I guess, comfortable fighting lower level people. I want to fight people as good as me, or if not better.
That's the idea, really, of martial arts, is you're always looking to better yourself, and the only way to do that is to face someone who is of equal or potentially better than you. Now, the great thing about mixed martial arts is, so you can always actually find that in a fight, even though you may be better at something than he is. So you could, for example, you might have better kicks than a fighter, but then your opponent has better striking with the hands. But at the same time, you're then still testing yourself with someone with better handset than yours. And you always try to look for something like that in an opponent. And I clearly, you know, I think that with this fight, we've got two guys who are just on the rise. And you're two exciting fighters who are still honing in on your skills. You know, you're still early in your career, let's say, because I know you've done amateurs, but on the pro level, it's still early days of your amateur ranks.
Yeah, pro is a completely different creature than amateur. I mean, the rules are different. The rounds are longer. I mean, now as a pro, you can throw knees and elbows to the head.
Yeah.
And which that is a complete game changer to pretty much anybody's game plan.
Yeah, there was a slight bit with the amateur ranks where you'd have a little bit of a safety net, so to speak, in certain positions, knowing that if they threw elbows, they couldn't throw elbows and knees where they would do in the pro ranks. Is this something then that you had to? Is this something you learned then when you were training, while still fighting as an amateur? Were you still training elbows and knees to prepare yourself to be ready to throw them when you turn to the pro ranks?
Yes, we have pretty much always practiced them.
Yeah.
But it's always kind of been in not a serious manner. We just kind of did them just to practice. It was like, hey, I know you're going to turn pro, so we might as well practice these a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're not going to throw them in your fight. Don't throw them in this fight. But eventually you're going to do this.
Yeah.
So we have always practiced them, but it wasn't like as big of a deal as it is now.
No. Yeah, I was going to say, because the muscle memory you get from it is very important. I find that if you drill something at the beginning of your career and you're doing amateur, and it's an amateur kind of setup and an amateur movement, whereas if you keep drilling that movement and you don't take a professional look at it, you think, right, well, in the pro ranks you can do X, Y, or Z, you should really try and drill this as well, because that muscle memory, you want to build that into yourself now, ingrain it. When you try to then, when you go to the pro ranks and you then try to ingrain a new movement, you add something to it, it actually still takes a bit longer for the person to catch up. So I still feel that they're catching up in the pro ranks when they should already have it in the bank, so to speak, already have it there ready for when they turn to the pros.
Yes. I mean, like you said, muscle memory. I mean, the only thing you can really, the best way to remember something is repetition. I mean, as you just got to continue doing it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, do you know what? I have to say, I was told that at the beginning when I started training, and all of a sudden when you're shrimping up and down the mats, you think muscle memory. I can remember this. Just I have to do it once. I'll remember it. But the thing is, you have to keep doing it, because when you're tired and it gets to the third round and you can't really think straight, that's when muscle memory comes in. It's not the start of the round, the very first round, when everyone's fresh and you know what you're doing. It's when you're knackered and exhausted and you don't have to think about it. You just do it instinctively. That's what people don't quite understand, the importance of repetition.
That's that. I think more people should. I don't know how people don't understand that, but a lot of people don't.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you've seen the people, it's like they will, like in a jiu-jitsu class, they will practice an armbar 5 times and think they have it. It's like I'm already good at this.
Yeah.
I don't need to practice it anymore. And this is like, and then when they get to a jiu-jitsu tournament, you know, they go for it and it doesn't work out for them, and then they question. It's like, why didn't this work? Have you been practicing this armbar? No, I haven't, but I was good at it when we first learned it. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure how people have that type of mindset.
No, it's strange. I agree, because I remember I had to do it. I was learning a combination on the pads once, and my coach just kept making me do it over and over again. And I'll be honest, I literally was wanting to just run myself into the wall and knock myself out. It was killing me. But I understood the principle why he was doing it, but I was like, can we just do something else for a minute? And he's like, no, because I want you to keep doing this so we build that muscle memory. And you know what? It is painstaking at times, but it's like that theory of the 10,000 hours and stuff like that. And it's just something you got to do, and it's got to make a difference. And it sounds like you're the kind of person that does do the drill, you know, do the repetitions, you drill yourself to make sure you got that embedded in your muscle memory.
Yeah. I mean, now, when we sit there and do drills, it's just kind of second nature.
Yeah.
You know, once you do armbar drills so many times, I mean, I can just sit there, it's like, and, you know, just go through emotion without even thinking about it. You know, sit there carrying full conversations, and not even thinking about the drill because I've did it so many times.
Yeah, exactly the same as you, man. I was going to say, me and my training partners, when we would do drills, you would be able to have a conversation while you're doing the movements together, but you both know where you're going to be doing and what you're going to be doing. So, but you just wouldn't. It was strange. You could just talk about something completely different other than MMA. You know, it would be even just simple as well. How was your weekend? You know, what'd you get up to? And we could just roll and do it, and it makes a huge difference. It sounds like you're a man who's prepared for his fight, and you still got a few more weeks to go. And you know, I'm sure there's a lot more repetitions that are going to be done in that time.
Yes, I think right now it is lots of repetition, lots of pad work. You know, just grinding drills, and it's like, you know, I wouldn't say it's the same thing every day, but it kind of, like you said, we just need repetition.
Yeah, that's how you get the win. It makes a difference. Look, I know you're on a tight schedule. I mean, I'm going to let you get yourself ready for the rest of your day. So before I let you shoot off, though, can you let people know at home where they can follow you on social media to maybe, you know, join up on your kind of exciting prospect of a pro career?
Right now, I do currently only have a Facebook.
Yeah.
Tyler Hunley. I wasn't sure how to my Twitter account. I tried to set one up at one point, and it wouldn't let me. Said my email address was wrong, so I just kind of not did that. But I do need to make a Twitter, and then my Instagram locked me out, so I had to make a new one. But I will hopefully have all that up soon.
Technology is your friend, it seems.
Yeah, me and technology, we go way back, as you can tell.
And what about, have you got any sponsors that help you out in training camps and stuff?
We've been to a few other training gyms. We have been to Shield Systems. Thank them for letting us come and, you know, beat me up, getting ready for this fight. And KMAA. You know, they'll always armbar me and choke me out. So they're only making me better. So I want to thank them and all my training partners at King's Muay Thai MMA. Thank everybody there for being there every day for me. You know, shaping me into the fighter I need to be. And I want to thank Todd Spence and Technical Medical League for, you know, supporting me for pretty much my entire MMA career.
Hey, that sounds fantastic, man. Look, have a fantastic, amazing weekend at Valor Fights. They're doing it, you know, Fight for Autism. That, you know, they're gonna. I hope a lot of money gets raised, It's a great cause. Well, it's a great little thing they're doing, really. I hope it's a great weekend, great atmosphere, and I'll look forward to you two having a great fight together.
I appreciate it, and you have a good weekend too.